my first question to is to you, Sahil sir. How has the Kafas journey been? What sprang to your mind as soon as you saw this book?
The journey has been very, very interesting and rewarding. I can say that now. I can add the rewarding now. We're all very, very happy with the response that Kafas is generating and the speed at which it's generating it. People are starting pressing play, and then most messages we all are getting is, "Arey, we binged it, we finished the whole show." So it's very heartening, it's very humbling and rewarding. We're all very grateful. And the journey is, whenever this is my third outing in 3 years or 4 years, including the pandemic, with all the most wonderful people at Applause Entertainment. So with them, it's always smooth sailing. We align. I still remember the first day that I sat with Deepak, and he took me through this, and he says, "Yeah, this is what we want you to do next." And we had just come out of a sitcom in Mind the Malhotra season 2, and this was genre-wise like a big difference. And I'm just so happy to have received that call. So as always, my first thanks to everyone at Applause, and I'm just really always happy to be working with them, and hopefully we'll continue to create interesting stories.
Yeah. Congratulations for Mind the Malhotras, by the way. It was a nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah, he does. We're big fans of that show.
Yes. Okay. So, what are some of the most important abilities and traits you see for in a collaborator, Deepak?
As when we are adapting something, or with Sahil.
For collaboration.
So when Sahil and me have worked once together earlier, long back on a film, and at that point I noticed that Sahil does enjoy human relationships, because that was also a very complex show with many people, film. So when we were doing Mind the Malhotra, Samir said, let's get somebody new, fresh to do this one. And then we thought, why not Sahil? And so there's that little factor of trust that we have with Sahil, and we say, yeah, whatever he gives us is not going to be put downable. So that's why we keep going back to him, and we'll continue to go back to him.
Right. Okay. So ultimately, how was your working relationship with Applause Entertainment, and what upcoming projects you are working on?
So my relationship has always been wonderful with them. As Deepak just shared, we work together. I think my first meeting with Deepak was 2009 or 2010, something like that, since when the collaboration in many ways in life has begun. So it's a long journey. I've known Samir sir also for a very long time. See, they're wonderful people. And what's great is that they are very generous with their insight with regard content. If you see what Applause Entertainment stands for and what they're doing, I mean, it's the singular production studio in this country that is working with so many varied talents across so many varied subjects. So it must be, you have to think that how do they do it? And they do it because they're generous with their insight. They're not overbearing with it. They're very involved. They hear every script. I was saying this to someone also, that it's one thing to credit the director and his team with an effort, but hats off to them, because they always remind us to, वो एक होता है ना, end goal and keeping your eye on the ball. So we also remain very streamlined, and I value that collaborative energy that we have, because their feedback means everything to me. So yeah, that's in a nutshell. It's always wonderful for me to work with them. What are we doing next? We are looking to find the next subject material that really excites us, and we'll start immediately, and hopefully be sitting in front of you very soon again.
Yeah. So, question to you, Sahil sir. What makes actors director? Like what things they do? What exact point, what they work upon, what you like about that, and any behind the scenes moment of Kafas you like to share with us?
Sure. So the cast of Kafas is a very interesting one, because it's a very varied amount of experience. Like the seniors they've done so much of fantastic work that Sharman Joshi, Mona Singh, Vivan Batina, Preeti Jangyani, they've all done a lot of work. right? So their experience speaks for themselves. They're wonderful actors. So with them, the beauty is to watch them. One is to submit to the material. That's the first challenge. So if Sharman is completely selfless, Mona is seamless, Vivan was fearless in his portrayal, and that's very important for creators when we're watching them. How do they marry the material? See, hum likh ke le aayenge up to a point. After that, they have to give their pearls, and our job is to navigate it, to curate it in the interest of the full show. That's really what a director is doing with talent like that. And then with the younger talent, it is to instill that confidence in them. Because now you imagine that Mikhail and Tejasvi and the other kids, look at whom their scenes are opposite. Very often, though, even now when we watch it, and I think people are highlighting that the children, they have face-offs. Mikhail has scenes opposite Mona, opposite Sharman. It's not with. So
Opposite Zarina also.
opposite Zarina also, the way they're taking them on. I mean, Zarina ji is like, and then with them. So that's been the most uh, exciting part. I wouldn't say challenging, because I truly feel that we are blessed with a wonderful cast that is just submitted in. I'm so grateful to each and every one of them. Um, Mukesh, Nikhil, Samir Kochar, who's come on and done a cameo for us. Everyone who's been a part of Kafas has just been very generous. They've given us everything, and as a director, I've just tried to do my best to use them as best as possible.
Next question to you, Deepak sir. How do you stay current with market trends and technology advancement in your productions?
Market trends, technology advancement is an easy question because technology keeps changing. I mean, I'm a film editor. I started editing on Steenbeck's and now I edit on Premiere Pro. So that to keep your kitchen fire burning, you will adapt to technology. Market trends is something, as we were discussing, that it comes from, we don't get much raw data from platforms, but we get feedback. Okay, this show is doing well to that extent, and some pointers, okay, it is being liked by what kind of people. The second form of market trend prediction is the reaction of the audience. So what social media tells us, what our friends tell us, what other people tell us. So that is the third form. And I think the biggest measure of success is when you're given a second season. So that is like somebody liked it somewhere. That is, yeah. So that is market trend. We can't predict in the sense that, like we used to do in television, where you have a definite rating and this, even though that's based on a sample, but it's some science behind it. Here, the platforms get pretty severe, detailed data, which they, give us a broad picture of what they have been through.
Okay. So, what techniques do you use to recognize and reduce hazards throughout a production out? Like, if anything is challenging from your way, how do you deal?
I think Sahil can take that. Production hazards.
Hazards.
Hazards, yeah. How do you deal with it?
हम एक बहुत लंबी प्रेयर करते हैं before we start. नारियल तोड़ते हैं रोज सुबह. हर शॉट से पहले नारियल तोड़ते हैं. But I feel that, look, we do our best as professionals to streamline. That's the job of the executive producers in the company and the producer and me, to make sure that we are on set execution. We take care of all safety protocols. We take care of making sure that every crew member, all from the junior most to all the way to the artist, you have to feel that you're working in a safe and protected and a respectful environment. That's when you like going back to work every day, when you know that your peers or your employers and your partners care for you. So we try to do that. And other than that, I really believe in this, and I select people personally. It's my first, I get drawn to people's energy. I've always received a lot of love and respect with the people that I've worked with, and I'm very conscious to pay it forward. I want to do my best to make the working environment something that people enjoy, because I think that then they truly give their best to us, and I want their best at all times. एंड मैं मेरा ये जरूर मानना है कि ये चीखम चिल्ली चिल्लाने से कभी नहीं होगा लाइफ में, यू नो. तो it's nicer to do it with love. So that's what we do. We take every safety measure that we can. And hazards, touchwood, ऐसा कभी कुछ हुआ नहीं है. And जब भी थोड़े बहुत challenges आते हैं उतना तो collectively as a team you can overcome, you know. So उतना that experience and abilities are there. So nothing, touchwood so far. I pray to God that ऐसा ही रहे, you know. So yeah.
So what method do you use to manage project and ensure success?
What? Sorry, I didn't
Manage the project.
Like what is the success mantra? How do you like ensure success?
I think conviction. There's only one way: conviction in the content you're making. There is no success.
And honesty. Yeah, and honesty.
Yeah, I think that is it. Make it the best you can. Be convinced yourself.
Yeah.
Don't use the audience as guinea pigs. I mean, you should be convinced that you'll sit through that project before you put it up. Yeah. That's broadly.
Right.
उसको nurture करो content को, you know, just give it everything you can. Ideally, you should, you know, you just should not wake up after the release and say, यार, you know, अगर मैं 2 दिन इस पे और बैठता, तो वो तो हमेशा रहेगा. Hindsight तो हमेशा होती है, but you should sleep well at night. कि यार, we really did almost everything that we could. अब वो 1%, 2% तो सबका रहेगा.
Right. Okay, so the last question is, what advice you like to give to upcoming filmmakers who are coming to the industry?
I'll let Deepak answer that question because I'm still upcoming only. So I want to take the
advice. This also links back to your advances in technology, because now TV, film and OTT, if you call it another branch, have severe competition from youngsters who are gaming, who are on mobile phones, who are putting themselves out there, who are editing shows about themselves. So there is that is another huge world that exists, which you are trying to tell a story which you want that guy to put down shooting his own Instagram and watch your story.
Correct.
It has become even more challenging to do that. So we have to make better stories that have not been heard before, stories that are socially relevant to today's time, to today's situations. And so I think if you can strike that chord with the audience, they will come and watch. They'll put down what they're doing and give you a chance. But if you falter in that, you're not convinced yourself, you're taking a gamble, then you're going to be a bit, affected by the outcome.
Yeah, true.
You would like to add to this, I'm sure.
Yeah, just that, you're absolutely right. I completely agree with Deepak that today competition is everywhere. Everyone is a storyteller, and the smartphone has liberated or democratized storytelling to another level. Reels mean you can spend 2 hours a day watching reels, which is like, so you've basically seen 200, 300 short films,
Yeah.
But look, there is the power of storytelling. Touchwood has survived from the time that from the existence of man, because since then we're hearing stories from Adam and Eve's era कि वो garden में थे, apple खाया था, ये वो वगैरह, right? तब से stories तो चलती आ रही हैं. Formats will adapt, storytellers will adapt, as long as we pay attention to our environment. And like Deepak has said, we have to keep finding the story and work really hard to present it. I feel grammar. I think that's something as a creator that I was really wanted to push with even Kafas, how we shoot it, how we present it. There should be a certain discomfort in the way the camera is also capturing them. It should not seem steady and calm. And also these are all, things that make play can think of a lot more. I feel we all should. We can get a lot better in our grammar of narrative, because it's an audio-visual medium at the end of the day.
Thank you so much for giving your time to me, and it was wonderful and insightful to talking to you.
Thank you so much.